All right, listen up, nacho chips. Quiet down, crispy potatoes. This is the moment Velveeta's been preparing you for, and you're not about to crack under pressure. Today's the day to go all in on the drip. Velveeta's Heat and Eat Queso is the MVP of any game day spread, so stick by them, and you'll be golden. Now get out there and make delicious history. No tailgate party is complete without Velveeta.
AI is incredible. It can teach you how to fry an egg and even write a poem, pirate style. Yarr! But it knows nothing about your work. Slackbot is different. It doesn't just know the facts. It knows your schedule. It can turn a brainstorm into a brief. And it doesn't need to be taught. Because Slackbot isn't just another AI. It's AI that knows your work as well as you do. Visit slack.com/meet Slackbot to learn more.
This is a Rogue Media Network podcast.
Stars at night are big and bright. Deep in the heart of Texas, the prairie skies are wide and high. Deep in the heart of Texas, deep in the heart of Texas.
Why, hello there. Welcome to a King of the Hill podcast. I am Mike.
And I am still Rusty.
He is still Rusty. You know, the biggest problem I have with this, Rusty, is I never look at the camera. I think I'm going to tape my camera to my giant monitor here just so that I'm looking directly at it or something.
There you go.
Okay, so we are at Season 8, Episode 12, or in the year of our Lord, 8 ABE 10. This is, the one last week was 8 ABE 9, and so they are following along here. They're a couple out of sequence, but...
yeah, they're a few out of sequence, but we're now, as everybody should know now, we've already discussed it, we're now in the era of digital. We're in the digital era for King of the Hill. Perpetually, it will never end. We're stuck in the digital loop from here until the end of time.
That's right.
Let's go with something. What would it be? You got analog, digital. What's the next thing?
Virtual.
Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, virtual. I guess
Maybe analog, digital, virtual.
They'll just plug us up into machines like they do on Big Hero 6. Is that what it is? Yeah. No, Wall-E or whatever it is. Wall-E. Whatever movie it is where they plug them up. I think it's Wall-E, right?
It feels a lot more like Wall-E with the big fat people floating around on their little things. And
yeah, that's what it is. That's what I was thinking of. Wall-E. Yeah.
You take Wall-E and Idiocracy and put them together. You got what we got right now.
We're getting there. Yeah, we're getting there. Well, Idiocracy every day. I've watched the movie now since the current political climate like 3 times, and I'll take notes while I'm watching it, and then I'll try to correlate it to things that are like actual in reality. And it's sad when more of the tropes in it are aligned with what's happening in reality than not now. So
there's a show. You start applying it to the real world.
like giving like real world source information, like cited sources and stuff like that of like the comparisons. Yeah, that'd be kind of funny.
This is Phish and Wildlife. Phish, of course, spelled Phish, because we deal with a lot of hippies in this one.
It is a very hippie-centric episode.
This was, talking of Phish and Wildlife. I always think of like, what is it? Farm and Stream? Is that the magazine?
Yeah, Farm and Stream.
Field and Stream.
Field and Stream is the magazine. Yeah, Field and Stream.
Field and Stream magazine. The guy that used to run Field and Stream magazine now is the athletic director at Baylor University. Which
that's true. That guy was the Field and Stream. I didn't know he was a Field and Stream guy.
Yeah. He ran the Field and Stream magazine, and now he's the AD of Baylor. Which I don't understand the correlation, but hey,
They also got one of the quarterback recruits they've probably ever had since RG3 out of the transfer portal. They got that young man from Florida that's just amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, they got a good one. We'll see what they do with it. They can either make him successful or run him out of town, one or the other.
Well, this is going to be one of those years for what is it, Aranda, and then their coach now. It's going to be one of them years for him where he's got to really produce, or he's going to be on the hot seat, I think, pretty soon.
I honestly thought he would be on the hot seat this year, but anyway,
they rode with him. Yeah, they rode with him.
Yeah,
he's a good Christian man.
He's a good Christian man. This was originally aired February 15th, 2004. Hank and his friends take Bobby on an eat-only what-you-can-catch camping trip, only to discover that the park has been overrun by dirty hippies.
Okay, so let's address some of the voices real fast, and then we can jump into it. So it's Fred Willard. He's Ranger Bradley. Rest in peace, Fred Willard. And the one that I really liked, I thought was probably the most hippie person in this whole like group of people is Melissa Etheridge. So you've got Topaz, voiced by Melissa Etheridge, and Fudgy is voiced by Jamie Kennedy from the Jamie Kennedy Experiment.
Really? Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah, I knew I recognized their voices, but I didn't know who they were. I just didn't look.
And then a young Anna Faris does the stoned singing hippie chick.
Oh, really? Oh, wow. Okay. Anna Faris honestly probably would have been a really good Luann.
I think she could have been a good Luann, maybe live action Luann. Yeah, I think she
definitely live action Luann. Yeah. She actually is pretty funny. That mom show was pretty good for a while. And then it kind of, turns into drivel just like everything else in America when we try to get 17 seasons out of something.
Kind of funny. Yeah, I know.
Ghetto Cowboy, welcome to the group. Artie, welcome to the group. I was in a box. Welcome to the group. Ghetto Cowboy says that Aranda's better than Bryles. I don't know.
I think they fumbled the bag on Art Bryles, to be honest.
Far fewer sexual assaults.
Well, the court cases came out and everybody was squeaky clean. So I don't think that Art Bryles
morally.
I don't know. I don't think that Art Bryles. I think they really slandered the man's character. I don't think he was explicit about anything. I think I think he was the fall guy for the athletic director is all he was, because it was his program where the nonsense was coming from.
He leaves Baylor and ends up going and coaching some high school
Italian football. No, he coached Italian football too. He was in Italy coaching American Italian football, or Italians playing American football.
And then there was a high school right here in Central Texas that renamed their field after him. And I mean,
they had a good season with him. They went to state and everything with him. So
yeah, I'm just not sure the guy is what they say he is, but because he came through the Texas Sports Hall of Fame and did a whole thing, and that place was packed to listen to.
RG3, him and RG3 both showed up for that, because I remember traffic was kind of contentious down there in that area of town that day.
Yeah, he had I don't know. Who knows? Because the biggest problem is trying to figure out what Baylor's telling you and what actually happened. That's
absolutely. And that is the big thing, because Baylor is a very secret ballot society. They really they don't want people knowing what's going on and stuff. And it's because they have the religiosity thing. They have to keep up the facade of that, and instead of all the business stuff.
Yeah.
They really, really always wonder why they never can pack out their stadium. Well, they're in Texas and there's no beer,
Yeah.
Who wants to watch a football game and not be able to purchase a cold beer?
Now that is something that this new guy has said he's going to change.
He should, and absolutely will pack. I guarantee the second they allow alcohol to be sold, all of the fans that just sit at home and watch the game will be more inclined to maybe go buy a ticket and go actually watch it. But you told me I can't sip one, even if they did like a 2 beer minimum per person or something like that. I don't know how to keep up with that, but even if they had like a minimum, people you'd still get more people in there.
Yeah, I agree.
Everybody's drunk anyway. Everybody gets drunk in the parking lot and then goes into the game anyway. So it's like you're wasting money.
And then up in the boxes, there's plenty of alcohol.
They sell alcohol. Yeah, the Baylor Club sells alcohol.
Yeah,
it's just not down in the stand. because they don't like
Okay.
rowdiness.
So we start this one. Yeah, they don't like people having fun. We start this one at the Hill House. It's nighttime. We're at the front door, and Hank and Ghetto Cowboy says same thing with Iowa State games. No beer. It's 2026. We need beer. I agree.
Oh wow.
I didn't know
I didn't know
Iowa
Iowa State was like that. Yeah.
Huh. That's amazing. We get in our own little bubble here and think we're the only ones affected. So they're at the door and they're leaving, Hank and Peggy, and they're seeing Bobby off. Bobby is a little antsy about the fact that he's having to stay there by himself, which I don't really understand. Bobby's 12. But the one thing I did want to point out in this one is that Hank is in a green shirt for some reason. And then we see Hank in different clothing. Well, we see Hank in different clothing throughout this episode, which is really odd to see because you always see him in the same thing.
Yeah, he's usually in the white shirt, blue jeans. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. So Bobby's like, do you really have to go? Hank says, you're old enough to be on your own, Bobby. Pretty soon the babysitters are going to be younger than you. Bobby's like, but, and Peggy, of course, the voice of reason, says, oh, you'll be fine. I've gotten rid of that hat rack you said looked like the devil. And Hank says, all right, have fun. And they just leave Bobby all alone. The thing is, we forward a little bit. Let's see, what do you say here? The Bobby is afraid to be home alone because Ms. Wakefield scared him. That's probably true.
Yeah, it is true.
So Bobby's in there. He's just clutching his pillow, sitting on the couch watching TV. And over the TV, we hear a Frankenstein monster in this day and age. I'm telling you, kid. And then you see it on the screen. It's like a Friday the 13th or something, but you replace Jason with Frankenstein, and he reaches through and grabs the cop and whatever. And so Bobby is scared to death. We go to the restaurant where Goober Smooches, where Hank and Peggy are eating, and Hank's just trying to make small talk, I guess, because he's like, Chuck Storm on Channel 5 predicts a possible moderate breeze for the camping trip. And Peggy's like, she does not care about this camping trip
at all. Yeah, she doesn't care at all.
Hank says, yep, I don't know how you girls get along without us every year. Peggy's just not even saying anything to that. She goes, the French onion. She's not paying attention. The French onion soup and the minestrone soup sound so good. I think I'm going to order both. He goes, 2 soups? She goes, yes, in place of an entree. Like it's this huge deal,
he kind of shrinks whenever she says that.
Yeah. How dare you eat 2 soups? He gets a phone call, and of course you can tell the times because Hank pulls out his flip phone, and he's like,
we are in the cell phone era.
Yeah, 2004.
I don't think that I can. Somebody can go back and look at all 8 seasons, but I think this might be the first sign of that technology in this episode.
I think we've seen beepers.
Yeah, we've seen beepers for sure because he gets the beepers for the emergencies for the propane stuff.
Yeah, I don't
recall that we've seen a actual cell phone or whatever. I think we might have seen a. That's funny. It blurs his back, but if he turns his face, it shows his face. But yeah. So I think that's the first time we see a cell phone, like a flip phone or something like that.
It is a good point, though, Artie, that Bobby is 13 and he has been for 4 or 5 years now. That's right. Sorry, I missed him by a year or 6. All right, so it's Bobby calling him. Next thing we see is Hank standing in Bobby's room. Bobby's on his bed, just kind of, he's like, you could tell that he was scared. He goes, I crawled into your bed to calm me down, but it just wasn't the same without you guys here. Hank says, Bobby, everything would have been fine had you not panicked. The problem is you lack of confidence. And Bobby's immediately like, give me confidence. Well, I'm not sure that's the way it works.
That's not how it works.
Hank says, well, I can't give it to you. You have to earn it. Hey, the best ways to do that is to rely on yourself in the wild. Just you against the elements. Bobby's like, I don't know. He says, I don't want you to get married and have to have your wife tuck you in at night. You're coming on our camping trip. And Bobby's like, fine, but I don't know what I can learn in the wild that I can't learn watching Zoobly Zoo. I'm assuming he's talking about the one with the, what do you call it? The ring-tailed lemur?
Yeah, Zaboomafoo.
Zaboomafoo, that's it. You got it.
Zaboomafoo,
all right. Yeah. We go this next day.
The Pratt brothers. It was
The who?
Krat brothers. The Krat brothers.
Krat?
That was Kratts. Yeah, Kratt. They were the brothers that they had the show or whatever, Zaboomafoo. They were the two guys that hosted it, and then they actually went on. I guess the Ringtail Lemur show either like was not canceled or whatever,
Mhm.
or the ring or Zaboomafoo died or whatever it was. The actual lemur that played Zaboomafoo.
Who died?
But they ended up doing Krat Kids, which was animated. Wild
Yeah.
Kratts is what it was called, and it was animated. It was like an animated program with animals, and the two brothers as the voices.
Artie, I remember the new zoo review too. I remember that they had those books and stuff. They would drive around in a little van and teach kids to read or whatever. I don't know if any kids got abducted.
That was like big puppets, right? Or not big puppets, but they were like in costume.
Full-size suits. Yeah.
It was like a pig.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like, it was like a hippo, a frog, and a little owl. Yeah.
Yep.
That's funny.
All right, so now we got all four guys in the alley. Hank says, and I figure if we make this an eat only what you catch trip, Bobby will be focused or forced to learn some self-reliance. Dale, that's a great idea. Once you learn how to light a cigarette with 2 rocks, you feel invincible. Well, we're going to teach the kid how to light cigarettes. Boomhauer, yeah, man, just like Dale. I think this is funny. Yeah, man, just like dang old Ted Nugent said, man, you can't grill no less you kill it, man. Like dang, talking about old fool. And I really have no idea what he's talking about.
I don't know what he's talking about either. But you've seen Ted Nugent though, so there you go. That's a pop culture phenomenon.
I probably would say boom after seeing Ted Nugent. Bill says, yeah, I use my survival training every day. Yep. Being alone in the woods prepared me for being alone, well, everywhere else, which is just sad.
Yeah.
All right. It's the early morning. We see the cars pulling out. Oh, Artie tells us it's Al, Henrietta Hippo, and Freddie the Frog. Yeah, I think there were a couple more, but yeah, you're absolutely right. Henrietta Hippo creeped me out. Early morning cars pulling out. Peggy and Nancy are seeing them off. They're kind of talking over the fence. Nancy says, oh, I'm going to miss Dale, Shug. Peggy says, and I will miss my boys, but I see this as a perfect opportunity to take care of things to do list that's been hanging over my head. See boys off? Check. Done. I don't understand a list where you write things down and then immediately check them off. All right. So now we see the guys and they're all, they've been driving for a little bit. They're pulling up to the ranger station. And it is, we see the deer, we see the woods. It's beautiful there, where they're pulling up. I'm assuming it's kind of a state park that we're talking about here. And like I say, they pull up to the ranger station. Bobby's like, the park department is not responsible for my safety. Oh, God. He sees that on a sign and kind of freaks out. Hank says, that's right. You're responsible now. And then they walk into the ranger station and we see Ranger Bradley for the first time. And this is Fred Willard doing the voice here.
Yep, that's Fred.
And he says, oh, already that time of year again, huh, Hank? He goes, yeah, looks like it. How are you, Ranger Bradley? He goes, oh, I'm working so hard I couldn't tell you. What'll it be, the usual? Hank says, yep, lot number 6347. We watched that possum family grow up before our very eyes. So we get the idea here now that all the boys are going to be out at this campsite. It is a kind of a state park. He knows the ranger. They do the same thing every year. So they are over at the campsite setting up tents. And this is, again, lot number 6347 for those of you keeping score at home.
There you go.
And Hank is setting up the tents, and he says, so how does it feel to be setting up your own camp for the first time? Bobby says, I brushed my teeth with bug cream, and I'm still kind of woozy. Can we go home? Hank says, no, we got work to do.
That's kind of funny, though. This is something, an observation, I guess. It's kind of funny how they act like Bobby's never really done any kind of camping or anything before. Because one of the very first episodes, like episode 3, Order the Straight Arrow, they're camping, and he's a part of a paramilitary organization, the Boy Scouts. So he's like this Boy Scout dude. So it's kind of funny that they act like he's never done anything in the camping world.
Yeah, no, he's been outside. We know that.
Yeah, he's definitely been outside. Definitely.
Hank says we got to pick up dinner. So he grabs the fishing poles and they are off to fish. We're at the fishing hole, or it's kind of I guess it's a tank is what it is probably. You got Bill, Boomhauer, Bobby, Hank, and Dale. and they all have their fishing rods. And Dale says, "Come here, fish. I'm not going to hurt you." Then he yanks a fish out, looks it right in the face, and goes, "Idiot." Like, Bill says, "That's 3 for Dale, 3 for me, 4 for Boomhauer." And then you hear Dale say, "And nada for Bobby. Since it's an eat only what you catch trip tonight, you'll be dining on filet of zero." Hank's like, "Shut up, Dale." Bobby says, "Maybe he's right. I can't do this." He goes, "Sure you can, Bobby. Just remember, to catch a fish, you have to think like a fish." He says, I'm wet and I don't even know it." Hank's like, no. Where would you be feeding? Like possibly in that algae covered area over there. He goes, "Oh, that algae area does look good." Now we flash over to Peggy at home. She's on the phone in the kitchen. "Nancy, in one day I've accomplished everything I set out to do. Do you think it'd be gilding the lily to refinance the house while Hank's away?" Dumbass. She goes, "Uh-oh, someone's beeping in." So she answers the phone. "Hello." You hear, "Peggy, this is Dora Shelwyn from Tom Landry." And of course, Peggy, her first response is, "Are you retiring?"
That's
Goes, "No, actually, I just needed your number for your veterinarian. I have a quick question." She goes, "Oh, go ahead." Like she tells her she needs to call the veterinarian, but then Peggy's like, "Yeah, go ahead, just ask me." She goes, "I meant for the vet. You see, I bought this mynah bird and it just won't talk." And she goes, "Put the bird on the phone." What? She goes, "Trust me, I know what I'm doing." No,
yeah, that's hilarious. Put the bird on the phone, please. I have things to say to a bird. Yeah.
Puts the phone up to the bird cage, and she goes, "Okay, bird. Oh, I love Dora Shelwyn. Who's a good bird? I love Dora Shelwyn. Come on, bird. I got all day." And Dora, on the other end of this, she's like, "This bitch is crazy." And so she just goes, "I love Dora Shelwyn," and hangs up real quick. And then, of course, Peggy writes on her list, "Teach bird to talk," and checks it off. Like that is, that was one of her things that day, to teach the bird to talk.
She did it, though. She got it.
Oh, my God.
Checking off the list.
So we see Bobby still on the bank here trying to fish, and a frisbee comes in, hits Bobby, and you hear, "Hey, bro." He goes, "What? Oh, hi." And he turns around and he sees this hippie guy with he's got the dreads and the whole thing. He goes, "If you catch anything, we should use this as a plate," and turns the frisbee upside down. Bobby says, "I haven't even seen a fish all day and I'm starving." The hippie says, "I got a hamburger bun top, still has most of the sesame seeds." And when he pulls it out, I swear there's some mold on it also.
Yeah, it looks like it. Yeah.
Bobby's eyes get real big, and he starts reaching for it. In comes Hank. "Bobby, don't take that." And the hippie guy says, "It's okay. We can split it threesies." Hank's like, "No, thank you. Thank you for that. But we're only eating what we catch this weekend. I'm trying to teach my son self-reliance." And the hippie guy says, "No, I'm trying to teach him self-reliance." And Hank's like, "What?" He goes, "Yeah, the thing about self-reliance is it's like bad." And then this hippie girl comes through and says, "Hugs for smokes, hugs for smokes."
I've never heard that one before.
What a great system. Hugs for smokes.
Yeah, hugs for smokes.
And then you see all of these hippies start to kind of show up, right? They're dancing and they're moaning, which I thought was really weird.
That is really weird.
And you hear Hank go, "Look," and then he sees all the hippies and he goes, "Oh God." And then he turns around and goes, "Another one?" And we see a hippie on stilts coming through, which is really nuts.
I couldn't imagine why you would need stilts in the wilderness, but okay.
Well, they do call this a gathering a couple of times.
Yes. Which with that reference for the gathering, back in the 70s, there was a counterculture gathering. It started in 72. It was called the Rainbow Gathering, and it was in Colorado, is where I think it kind of started maybe, but they kind of do like the hippie counterculture thing and non-commercial rock festivals, that kind of stuff. So it's like a revitalization movement. So it was after the counterculture of the 60s and into this, like it was like into the 70s. They had like 20,000 people at the first gathering in Colorado, but
holy crap.
it kind of moved into the 80s and stuff, and then the media coverage was like, well, it's full of aging hippies and grown up, like, by that time all the flower children from the 60s were in their 40s, so it was like just kind of aged. It kind of was kind of weird because it was just old people kind of trying to cling on to that bohemianism, the hipster stuff from the 60s.
The first thing I thought of course, was ICP, the gathering they put on, Insane Clown Posse. But
That's a different gathering. But yeah, I got you. Yeah, that's a different gathering.
It's crazy that it goes back that far. I was just thinking with like the stilts and stuff that fits ICP to a T, Now
yeah, absolutely.
Artie says it's one thing when Peggy acts like a kook at home. It's always trippy when she acts like that to outside people. That's absolutely true, because Hank has gotten used to this, right? Hank and Bobby both. They're used to her acting like an idiot.
Fun fact, just one last fun fact about the Rainbow Gathering.
Yeah.
Snicker bars have emerged as a semi-standardized unit of exchange at these gatherings. So these gatherings they barter pretty much through everything, because that's the stuff. They're bartering books and crystals and gems and weed and weed pipes and all that kind of stuff. So they're doing all that kind of stuff, and Snickers is actually a part of that. Yeah.
I would love to see Dale go to the gathering of the Juggalos. That would be fantastic.
There's got to be an episode of King of the Hill that mentions Juggalos. There has to be.
You would think so. Doesn't one of them? I swear to God, I thought one of them showed up in this thing. Okay.
Yeah. I'm
so
pretty sure there's an episode.
Artie says, my friend went to the gathering in the early 90s, did a lot of acid, woke up with a kitten on his shoulder, and kept it for a week. Okay. That's good.
Well, there you go.
All right. So he goes, I'm trying to teach him self-reliance. He says, no, I'm trying to teach him self-reliance, and it's like bad. Hugs for smoke, says the girl. Then the hippies come in, and Hank's like, oh my God, another one. And he sees the one on stilts, and he goes, okay, I don't know what's going on, but you're going to have to tell your friends to get out of here. And Fudgy is who's talking here, goes, all of them. And then we start seeing them just come over the ridge. There's so friggin' many of them, right? They're all these dirty hippies out there.
Hippies everywhere.
They're moaning and they're groaning and they're tripping. And Bobby looks around. He goes, "What are they, Dad?" And Hank says, "They're hippies, son." And then you just see all of them start to come over the ridge to the tank. That's going to be our first commercial break. We're going to take that, and we'll be
right back.
There it is.
Farmhounds offers natural treats and chews made with quality products that support family farms, regenerative agriculture, and humane farming practices. Give your dog the best with wholesome, organic ingredients that promote health and happiness. Shop now at farmhounds.com.
Tervis is all about staying hydrated. Each product is built to last and comes in endless designs to match your personality. Stay refreshed and express yourself with Tervis. Visit tervis.com today and find your perfect tumbler.
Protect your online privacy with NordVPN. Browse securely, access content from anywhere, and keep your data safe with military-grade encryption. Whether at home or on the go, NordVPN ensures your digital freedom. Stay secure. Download NordVPN today at nordvpn.com. That's NORDVPN.com.
This episode is brought to you by Stouffer's. Here comes three-time juggling champion Natalia Rogers. She's juggling law school, her TA job. Oh, narrowly catches the laundry. What's that fourth ball? Parents unexpectedly showed up at dinner time? Is that too much for Natalia? Not with Stouffer's Chicken Alfredo and its mouth-watering mix of Asiago, Romano, and Parmesan. When you're juggling four things at once and the clock strikes dinner, think Stouffer's.
Well, the holidays have come and gone once again, but if you've forgotten to get that special someone in your life a gift, well, Mint Mobile is extending their holiday offer of half off unlimited wireless. So here's the idea. You get it now, you call it an early present for next year. What do you have to lose? Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Limited time 50% off regular price for new customers. Upfront payment required. $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12-month plan. Taxes and fees extra. Speeds may slow after 50 gigabytes per month when network is busy. See terms.
Looking for tickets to the hottest shows, games, and events? Ticket Liquidator is your one-stop shop for great prices, no hassles, and guaranteed tickets. Since 2003, we've been connecting buyers and sellers, providing access to sold-out events at prices lower than most secondary market options. Whether it's sports, theater, or concerts, our massive nationwide network ensures you get the tickets you want, guaranteed. For the best seats at the biggest events, start with Ticket Liquidator today at ticketliquidator.com. That's TICKETLIQUIDATOR.com. Ticket Liquidator.
And we're back.
We're back.
We are in the middle.
While we were on the break, I Googled King of the Hill Juggalo. So if all of you go Google King of the Hill Juggalo, you'll see a fan-created picture of Bobby, Hank, and Dale, as he said Dale, and they're all standing there. And I'm gonna make a post about this too. The whatever you just showed. I
got you.
haven't made the post. I was gonna make the post on Monday when the episode dropped.
Oh, you're all good. I'm gonna talk about it here in a few minutes. We'll talk about it once we're done. I just wanted to make sure it was up there.
Yeah. No worries.
Okay, so yes, I would love to see some Hank with Juggalo makeup on. All right, so we are back. We're back at the tank. We've gotten all these hippies that have come over the ridge. There's just hippies everywhere. You can't throw a dead cat without hitting a hippie. And then Boomhauer he sees them all. He's standing next to Bill and Dale, and he goes, "Hey man, I thought dang old Reagan got rid of all them in the old 80s, man. Talking about them yippee to yuppie, man." And of course,
it's funny that he mentioned Reagan getting rid of the yippies. Yeah,
got rid of the yippies and the yuppies. Dale, of course,
happened, right? Isn't that what the transition, like the social transition, was hippies to yuppies or whatever? It's like all the hippies became like the tech guys of the 80s and 90s.
Very much so. Yeah. Because like if you think about Steve Jobs, he was a huge hippie, right? And then
Steve Jobs, well, he actually died because he was a hippie. Yeah, like he could have prolonged his life if he would have used actual medicine instead of the holistic approach, which there's nothing wrong with holistic approaches to it because there is some truth, I guess, in some sense to certain holistic stuff like that, but it will not save you.
Artie does say that the gathering is held in secluded areas, not in public parks.
National parks. They do it in national parks, which are public parks.
That's a good
they do
point.
It in national parks.
Well, but he says, there's too much drug use, nudity, sex, that kind of stuff. So
yeah, and national parks are national forests and national parks. That's the only place you can get where you are in the middle of nowhere and there's nobody near you, kind of thing.
Yeah,
I've been in some national parks and some places and stuff like that. I've been on some hikes where you actually have to have a lottery to be able to actually hike in these areas that I've hiked in Arizona and Utah. You have to put your name in nearly, like if you plan your trip, say you plan your trip for May, and that's when you want to be in that area for May, you got to put your name in for the lottery probably December of the year before. So like a whole year and a half in advance, you would put your name in for the lottery. And when they pull your name, whatever that is, that is your ticket to get to go in there. So you can't go to certain places with that. It's like backcountry hiking, like that's really great. Like off the grid hiking stuff.
Blah 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 has come in and said, "Yo, blah 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 blah. I really like your eggs on toast. That's lovely." Okay, so Dale's standing next to him and he's like, "This land is our land." And then we see a naked hippie say, "Welcome home, friend." And then Hank's like, "Bobby, go back in the tent. Go away and put some clothes on." And then the naked hippie again, "Hey, this isn't Kinko's, man. It's a gathering. He goes, the what? He goes, the gathering, bro. Everyone's here. Crunchies and hippies, earth mothers, vegans, hyper vegans. We're all here. Thousands of us.
Hyper vegans.
Hyper
I wonder what
vegan.
that is. You eat the dirt that the grass grows in.
I guess. The Ranger Bradley walks up and he goes, this may be the saddest day of my career. Like,
Yeah.
Hank says, Ranger, how could you have given all these people park permits? What were you thinking? He goes, sorry, Hank, we were blindsided. They got a bunch of ACLU lawyers to sue, saying the First Amendment allows them to peaceably assemble without a permit. He goes, don't tell me that's covered by the First Amendment. And he points to the thing and he goes, public defecation is protected as long as they say it's political or artistic statement. And they do. I mean, they're just taking a dump over there and they're saying it's an artistic statement. Blah, blah, blah. It says those are quail eggs. How lovely.
Quail eggs are delicious.
And then Artie says there were no cell phones then. He said it was like 7 hours from civilization. Well, that's true. At that time, there's no way there would have been coverage.
No.
All right. So later, we got all 5 of them fishing. The problem is you got bongos, maracas, and all this loud shit playing in the background, like where they're all having drum circles and stuff. And Bill pulls up his fishing rod and he goes, nothing again. There's just nothing there. Dale is pissed. He's like, we'll never catch anything. We'll never catch anything. Fish hate loud hippie drums, and so do I. And then even Boomhauer's like, hey, yo. And then we get this woman, a hippie woman, coming through the water like a lady in the lake or something, right? And she's like,
yeah.
Beautiful drifting gypsy man collecting empty soda cans. He whispered, Atlantis is not far away. Just travel on a manta ray. And Bill
that sounds like some shit you would hear from Phish or Grateful Dead for sure. That's that jam band stuff.
Bill, of course, is the
rest
one
in peace to the Grateful Dead guy. Didn't there somebody from the Grateful Dead?
Yeah, he did.
Away?
He did. Weir.
Weir, that's his name, yeah.
Bill is the only one affected by this, and Bill says that music is beautiful, and he like gets in the water to follow him along. Dale hooks him, so we hear him like that, and Hank says, dang it, I have to pull one more hook out of Bill. This is foreshadowing to the fact that Bill loves this hippie stuff.
No, he does. Bill. Well, I think Bill just likes anything where he could get attention.
Yeah. Now we go over to the Panhandler Steakhouse, which I didn't really understand who was going to be at the Panhandler Steakhouse. Yeah, but Peggy is there eating by herself. And she looks around and she sees a guy at the salad bar. Yes. And being shitty Peggy and wanting to control
really shitty. This would piss me off if I was doing this, because I don't build my salad in a normal way. Yeah. I like a lot of cucumbers and stuff like that. So there's like an imbalance in what my salad would actually look like.
You said the thing though. You said the thing that's most important. Your salad. You know,
my salad. Yeah, definitely. Salad. I didn't order a specific like design salad off of a menu. I went to a salad bar and I'm just loading it up with the things that I like.
And Peggy just can't take it. She says, excuse me, sir, but could I couldn't help noticing you're making your salad wrong. Who the hell are you to say she's making
her salad wrong? Yeah. I don't know. Is there a prescribed way to make a salad? Can you make a salad wrong?
Well, she says, where are the beets? Where are the red beans? Well, number one, if I were making a salad
and red beans on a salad,
if I were making a salad, neither one of those things is anywhere near me, because I don't like beets.
Where the hell she's from, but beets and beans.
The guy says
salad.
The guy says, I don't know. She goes, you know what?
Are the beans warm though? Is it warm beans or is it like
no? They're usually those cold ones. Yeah, those cold kidney beans.
Is this like a thing from that era that I just don't know about?
I've seen them on a salad bar before. I never get them, but I have seen them.
I've never seen beets on a salad bar.
I tell you, we went to that. We went to a Brazilian steakhouse here in town for my wife's birthday.
Brazil.
Yeah. We went to that one here in town, and it was, boy, that was really, really good. But my problem with it is it being all you can eat. I just don't, my meals are not that big. I eat several meals, but I don't eat big meals. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
so it's hard to get my money's worth there, but we had a really good time. But you could go in there and literally just order the salad bar and get the best meal of your life. I mean, because there's bacon, there's meat, there's all kinds of stuff over there. There's like 10 types
yeah.
of
I've been wanting to
cheeses.
go
There's
over
soup,
there. Yeah, I've been wanting to eat over there because I
all
like.
kinds of stuff.
I'm the opposite of you. I eat one large meal probably
Yeah,
per day
I
instead
get
of
that.
eating. So I probably eat like a good 2,000 calories at once instead of separating it out.
And then he sleeps for a week.
Yeah.
It is a good sleep. But yeah, they had like candied bacon and all kinds of stuff in it. It was
Yeah, that sounds good. So they do like the unlimited cuts of like Brazilian steak or whatever.
Yeah, there's two different levels. You can get the $50 one or you can get the $70 one. And the $50 one includes almost everything. The $70 one also includes like the prime rib and stuff. But honestly, I was thinking I would miss out on the prime rib or whatever, but boy, they serve you everything anyway. So I mean it's get the cheaper one.
And if you get to talking and like they might even bring you a little taste of the prime rib so you can get a little sampling of it.
You get more than enough, I promise you. And it's got the little red card, green card. You turn over if you want more meat. You don't want more meat.
Oh, they make it that simple. They don't make you wait very long either. Though the wait.
No. There's a little. It's like the size of a coaster, right? And it's a red on one side and green on the other side. If you want more meat, you leave it on green. If you don't, you put it on red. That's it.
Getting the meat sweats thinking about it.
It's super easy and super good. Anyway. Peggy says we're just going to have to start over on this guy's salad. She pours out his entire salad and she goes, I made a salad last night that people are still talking about. I mean, look at us. We're talking about it. No, Peggy, you're talking about it.
That's like some Seinfeld like shit.
Yeah. Everybody's talking about it. Look, we are.
Yeah, look, we are.
All right. So we're back at the camp.
What's the thing about airplanes?
What is the deal with airplane food? We got the hippies at the camp. Hippies. Now the guys are sitting around at kind of a campfire. You know how you always have logs that you're sitting on around the campfire kind of thing? Well, the hippies come up and roll away one of the logs and say, firewood. And Dale, the only insult he can come up with is log nappers. Then we get Bobby, who says, I'm starving, Dad. Can't you teach me self-reliance at a restaurant? I'll order off the adult menu. Hank says, now calm down. I found some perfectly good thorn apples and sour berries in the forest. You go find us some sticks and we can roast them like s'mores. And do not talk to any hippies. So Bobby goes off into the woods. He's collecting some sticks and things. And if anyone has ever heard the Hansel and Gretel story, then you know that this could go wrong. Bobby is in the wood picking up some sticks.
Very wrong.
Yep. He comes across a tent that says Miracle Tasty's Kitchen. And it looks to me like they're making some stew or some soup or something over there. He walks up to them and he talks to Fudgy. And this was, you said who?
Oh, Fudgy is. Let me go back to Artie's scroll up.
It's what's his name? The guy that used to have his.
Jamie Kennedy.
Yeah,
Jamie Kennedy. Also known as B-Rad.
B-Rad. That's right. Oh, I forgot about that.
And Malibu's Most Wanted. Yeah.
So we've got Fudgy and Topaz here, the guy and a girl. And he goes, my name's Fudgy, and that's Topaz. She goes, we met on a turnip farm. Okay, great.
Well, there you go.
Turnip farm. Bobby, who's starving, he's like,
I was going to say Dwight Schrute's farm, but he did.
Yeah, that's right. Turnips, not beets.
Turnips.
Yeah. He goes, what you got in the kettle? He goes, jumbo gumbo. He goes, how much does it cost for a bowl? Everything here is free, little guy. This ain't the Ronald McMoney scene. People here share with one another. You give what you can, you get what you need. And he says, I don't know if I should. My dad said I can only eat what I catch. Melissa Etheridge is playing Topaz. And he goes, in 100 years, who's going to care if you were self-reliant or not? And then Bobby thinks, okay, well, I can get down with that. And he eats the gumbo. And he says, you make a good point, Fudgy. And he's just eating and eating and eating. He loves this gumbo. We're back at the camp with the fire and Hank. and he tries to hand him something to eat, and he goes, "Oh, no, thank you. I'll probably just catch a deer tomorrow. I want to make sure I'm good and hungry." Well, we know he's full of stew or soup or whatever at this point. Hank says, "Good."
I don't mean to interrupt you. Sorry.
No, you're
So
good.
I
Anytime.
just for funds, I typed in the search bar McMoney or the Ronald McMoney. Well, it directed me to a website called McSpotlight, and this is a really very old website by the looks of things, and it looks like it's a place where people could debate McDonald's or
Oh,
like where it's just people that are just talking shit about McDonald's in general because McDonald's has been sued a few times
oh,
over the
sure.
years for different things. Well, it brought me to a this is funny. It brought me to a post titled Ronald McMoney, and it's a Swiss man. He said, "I don't like This is written in the 1900s, by the way. We're going back in time. This guy might not even be alive anymore. That's writing this.
Yeah.
I don't like McDonald's because McDonald's is for me a typical American company. They only think for money. One of my friends in Switzerland worked 2 years ago at a McDonald's fast food shop. She told me that she was very unlucky in this time. Then she only got a little money for her work. Her boss was her tyrant, and her workmates were not really kind. I think Helen and Dave are very brave people to tell the truth. This okay. So what this website is for then is for the Libel case. There was a Libel case. It's called Mac Libel. It was a famous Libel case. Back to teaching you guys about McDonald's. So there was two guys, or a guy and a girl in England, and it was actually one of the longest trials. It took well over like a decade to like come to a conclusion with. There's a documentary on YouTube you can watch. There was a woman named Helen Steele and a guy named David Morris, and they had a leaflet that they were distributing, and it was about the company exploiting workers, the animal cruelty and stuff like that that goes on in making their food, and like the whole like meat process and everything. And then environmental damage, how they're damaging the environment and all the processes and stuff that get to them, get to like final product for the food, and then the fact that they're selling is shit. So there was this huge libel case that they ended up. They actually found some claims to be true and some to be libelous. So they actually were held responsible for some. McDonald's never like went for the money or anything. They never went out and tried to like, take these people's money. But
Right.
it's actually a really cool documentary to listen to because if anybody eats McDonald's on a regular basis, it'll show you the darker side instead of like the business part of it and how the company got started. It teaches you about their business practices and how their business practices directly affect every part of our lives when it comes to consumption today. Because if it wasn't for fast food companies, there wouldn't be 3 companies that own all of our meat. There wouldn't be 3 companies that own all the potato production. You know what I mean? Like everything would be still spread out, and it'd be more regional stuff because they killed butcher shops. They killed all the local slaughterhouses and
Sure.
stuff like that with like this mass production kind of thing when it comes to food.
Well, and they make things go up. And we're seeing that with a lot of things. They make things go through the roof because a good comparison to this is RAM right now. You can't buy RAM for less than like $800 a stick or whatever.
Nah,
Right
RAM is crazy because the AI stuff.
Yeah, because of the AI stuff. Well, McDonald's, when they say, okay, this is the only potato distributor we're going to use or whatever, that makes the other ones work harder and makes the prices go up. I mean, that's just the way it
Yeah.
is.
Well,
Now,
then also it changes too. Like speaking of like potatoes and meat companies and stuff like that, it creates like this huge opening for these massive companies to come in and buy all the smaller operations to tie that into their operation. Because McDonald's, what started it was McDonald's went to the major potato supplier that they were buying from and the major meat companies they were supplying from. They're like, well, we buy from for meat specifically. They were like, we buy from over 140 plus suppliers. We're tired of having, they have 140 plus invoices they have to handle and 140 plus companies they have to deal with. So they told them, well, we only want to deal with the major 2 or 3 companies. And then those 2, 3 major companies come in and they buy everything. And then everybody just becomes a It's almost just the same way as it worked back in the day when the farmers didn't own shit and they worked for somebody. They worked on somebody else's land. We've reverted back to that. We got all the land from all the greedy landowners and started our own farms, and then now we're selling our. They have no choice because the financial state that they're in, they have to sell their farms to these large companies, and now they're working for these large companies on farms their grandparents or great grandparents or great great grandparents farmed on. So that's a big issue too. And they can't sell soybeans. There's the ninth month they've not been able to sell soybeans to China, and that's killed farmers. Like we're about to have to bail farmers out because of the tariffs.
Yeah, I don't doubt that one bit. All right, so he has eaten this stuff, and we're back at the fire with Hank telling Bobby, Bobby said, "I'm not hungry. I'm going to wait until I catch a deer tomorrow." Well, we know that's because he's full of stew or soup or whatever. He goes, "Good for you, Bobby. You're really hanging in there. You know what? If you can wait, I can wait." And then Dale and Boomhauer walk up, and Dale's like, "Goodbye, gentlemen, and good riddance. I'm one chorus of trucking away from snapping." And
that's a song.
Yeah,
by Grateful Dead. Yeah.
Boomhauer said, "Yeah, man, like that dang old Mainland man ain't never sounded so bad. Like dang old Bill Monroe spinning in his dang old grave, man."
And Bill Monroe, he was actually a
huge country.
A huge country. He was actually they say here the mandolin or whatever. Sorry, he was a mandolinist. Yeah, he was like they called him the father of bluegrass. He was in the oddly enough the Bluegrass Boys. But yeah, he was from Kentucky. He was a Kentucky.
He was one of the ones that was there when they started the Grand Ole Opry and stuff like that. He was that kind of guy.
Yeah, he was around in that era for sure. He was around in like the 30s and 40s and stuff like that. He was born in 1911, so he came along or whatever.
When you're talking about the mandolin and all that kind of stuff, I think about something that happened the other day. I was at this grand opening for a STEAM center, right? The place over on
is the A Arts?
Yeah, the A is Arts,
technology,
engineering, arts and math. Yeah. And so a buddy of mine comes in, or a guy I know comes in, and he's carrying what looks like a big case for a banjo, right? Because somebody even asked him, like, "What do you got? Your banjo with you?" He's like, No. But it's this big zippered case, right? And I said, "What's in the case?" He unzips it. It's a giant pair of gold scissors. It's the scissors you use to cut the ribbon whenever things are being grand opened. I don't know that I've ever seen anybody walking around with scissors in a case like that. That's just ready to.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious. They make a case for those scissors. There's a manufacturer out there that said these scissors need a case and designed a case for large scissors.
Well, and I think about this kind of stuff all the time. These little things that I learn on a daily basis that make me feel like an idiot. Like I went on Amazon and I realized, oh shit, I can buy these scissors for like $50. If I need a giant pair of gold scissors, I can just buy them.
Oh wow, yeah, you can. There's a 36-inch pair of ceremonial scissors.
Yep.
The company that makes them is Engraving Awards Gifts.
It's like $50. I mean, I always thought they were either cardboard or fake or plastic or something. I don't know.
And if you don't know how to cut a ribbon, they have a quick reference sheet for your grand opening or ribbon cutting ceremony. They also have a ribbon cutting ceremony. What is this? A planning guide. And then they also have a
planning guide
on how to cut the ribbon.
Cut from top to bottom or cut from bottom to top. Either one.
I'm going to have to bookmark that because that sounds funny. I want to read that guide.
So anyway, it just caught me off guard.
I will be the foremost expert in our area on
scissor cutting,
scissor cutting, and ribbon cutting planning. There's somebody that gets paid to do that. You know that.
I just thought it was funny as hell. It just caught me off guard. It's like the other day I figured out that if I push the start button on my microwave, it adds another 30 seconds. Just blew my mind. Just blew my mind. Okay, so Hank sees them leaving. They tell him they're leaving. He says, "What? You guys can't just get up and leave now? What kind of lesson is that for Bobby?" Dale says, "It's a good one. He can learn from our bad example." He's kind of true. I was in a box that says dream job, and I'm assuming that is cutting things with giant scissors. Bobby says, "Well, I guess self-reliance isn't for everyone, Dad." And this is a bad thing for Hank because he's like trying to teach his son something, and these guys are bailing on him, and the damn hippies are in his way.
A lot of
So
hippies.
we're back over at Fudgy's Miracle Tasty's kitchen, and Bobby's sitting there, and he goes, "Stellar gumbo, Fudgy, just stellar. This time, don't skimp on the potatoes. Dig deep." Gives him his bowl back, and Topaz says, "Sorry, but gumbo's gone, Bo." He goes, "Oh, well, that's okay. I should probably get back to my campsite anyway." And then Fudgy, here's what happens. You got to always read the fine print. Fudgy says, "Hold on, little guy. The pot's empty. It's time for you to share up." He goes, "Well, I don't have anything, but in 100 years, who's going to care?" Right?
Pot of gumbo. That's funny.
He goes, "But in 100 years, who's going to care?" Right? He goes, "Fudgy's hungry now." So now we're getting to the crux of the situation here, where Fudgy,
climax.
Nothing is free. Nothing is free in life. That's the way it works.
That's what they're telling you right here. Is there's he's telling you self-reliance is bad when it's not bad, because this shows you why self-reliance isn't bad, because he said you could eat the gumbo and it's free. So in Bobby's mind, it's free till it's gone. So he ate all of it.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Now you're in a conundrum with this hippie who is hungry.
You're learning the true price here now. So he says Fudgy's hungry now. We go into Hank's tent, and we've got Fudgy and Topaz there, and they're like, "And then I'm going to share your cooler. You think your dad's got any money we could share?" He sees the fishing poles in there and goes, "Hey, I can trade these for a burrito." Like, Bobby doesn't know what to do now, right? Because these hippies
he's in a weird spot. Yeah,
they're going to come in and take all of Hank's stuff. Bobby says, "Wait, those are my dad's fishing poles. You can't take those." He goes, "We only want to share, guy. You didn't mind sharing our gumbo, did you?" He goes, "No." He goes, "So we're sharing back." Topaz says, "It's a law of karma." Bobby says, "Well, promise me that you'll bring them back before my dad gets here." Nothing. No reaction, no anything. He goes,
they didn't say nothing. They just took off.
No, they just looked at him. He goes, "So we're agreed, right?" Nothing. He goes, "You'll bring them back." Nothing. He goes, "Yeah, man, sure." And they just take off. They take off with the poles and stuff. Let's see. Artie says Fudgy is hungry now, and to fix that, he's going to have sex in Hank's tent and steals his truck. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
I was in the box, says he's basically being robbed. Yeah, he is. He's basically being robbed. All right. So now we're outside of the tent. Bobby is sitting there, and he looks very nervous and very off. Hank says, "Still no sign of Bill. Probably got his head stuck in something. But I'm sure he'll turn up once we start cooking those fish we're about to catch." And Bobby says, "Actually, I'm in the mood for more thornberries or maybe a pine cone." He goes, "Bobby, the fishing rods are gone. You were supposed to be watching this stuff." He goes, "Oh, I'm sure whoever took them will bring them back." He goes, "Thieves don't return stolen items." He's right about that. Bobby says, "It's just a thing, Dad. They didn't steal something important like a smile," right? I mean, you can tell Bobby's been talking to these hippies for a while.
Yeah. They didn't steal your smile, Dad. No, they stole his smile. He's pissed. Yeah. I don't think Hank is smiling now.
Hank says, "Bobby,
he's ready to punch somebody in the yoni to get his."
Oh, boy, you're not kidding. He goes, "Bobby, that's just hippie talk, and all the hippie talk in the world."
Too.
Huh?
If Hank's a true angler and he's really about his fishing, which most guys his age in Texas that are fit his persona, most of them do. They have the ugly stick. They have the Zebcos and all the crazy, like expensive. I don't really know much about fishing. I'm not a fan of.
Oh, you hit it right. You said ugly stick and Zebco. I mean, there you go.
I know some things about it. I can fish, and I'm not bad at fishing because I fished as a kid. But I actually have a weird phobia of touching fish, so I can't touch. I can't go and throw a fish in the hook and take my own fish off the hook. And everyone's like, "Oh, you can't. That's a puss thing." Well, I'm a puss, but I could crawl up inside a dead deer and scoop its innards out. So I can't touch a fish, but I could gut mammals. So
I'll if we ever go, I'll touch your fish. You scoop out my organs. Okay.
There we go. I got it.
Okay.
Got it.
Right.
We're good. That was funny. Mike and Rusty surviving in the woods.
That's right. It'd be like a
camera pans, but the camera pans, and we're just standing in the median of a highway, and there's like a Walmart.
That's right. Yeah. We got a bag of burritos with us. He says, "Bobby, that's just hippie talk, and all the hippie talk in the world isn't going to bring our stuff back. We have to actually do something about it." So they're off to the hippie camp. Hank is he's storming off to the hippie camp. He goes in. He goes, "Excuse me, I'm looking for a couple of fishing rods, dual paddle crank handles." And we just see a hippie he's trying to talk to, and he's just like staring at a sock. And then they finally kisses the sock, and he goes, "Oh, never mind." And then we get a hippie lady
in the sock, not kiss the sock.
Yeah, he kissed the damn sock. Well, maybe afterwards. There's a hippie lady that comes up and she goes,
might take it out for a meal.
She goes, "I'm really sorry to hear about your fishing poles, man." Hank's like, okay. She goes, "If anyone can help you, it's the council circle. There's some real wise bastards there." Why did she say real wise bastards?
Yeah, that was weird.
It's just a weird thing to put in. He's like, thanks. She goes, "Hey, can you give me some money?" He goes, "No." She says, "Fascist." I mean, that's all it takes to turn her against Hank.
That was real quick. Yeah.
All right. So we go to the hippie circle, the council circle. And it's already going on. And in the middle of a sentence, the guy says, "It's only with teamwork that we can find Appleseed's missing teeth." It's just a great joke. Hank comes up. He goes, "Pardon me, Hank Hill, assistant manager, Strickland Propane," because he's got to tell everybody. And you hear, "Shut up, quiet. What gives you the right?" And then, like on the side of the circle, we hear Bill say, "The rules say you can't speak unless you got the feather." And Bill is just covered in mud.
Feather. Yeah.
Oh, he's covered in mud. He's got a tarp on his head. And he goes, "Oh, Bill," like he didn't know that it had gone that far.
He's like, are you gone that far, Bill? He kind of sounded disappointed, like, "Oh, Bill, not Bill."
He goes, "Hey, Hank, my new name is Energy Turtle. I've found myself Energy Turtle." I love that. Hank says, "Bill, fun's over. Wash off that mud now and help me find my fishing rod." He goes, "Oh, Hank, I bet you search for them everywhere except your heart." Everywhere but your heart. Artie says, "I love Appleseed. He's a great reoccurring character." That's true. We've seen Appleseed before.
Yeah.
He says, "I bet you looked everywhere but your heart." He goes, the people in the circle go, "Get out of the circle." And he's like, hey, he's serious. Bill tells Hank, he goes, "Hey, why'd you come to the gathering if you didn't want to share?" He goes, "I didn't come to the gathering. The gathering came to me." And he goes, "Oh, yeah, well, I'll come to you and gather your face." And then the other one says, all right, negative vibes. This circle will resume discussion after a round of jumping jacks. And Hank's like, "Oh, God, don't ruin jumping jacks."
Hell yeah, don't ruin jumping jacks.
Don't ruin jumping jacks. So we're back at the camp. We're with Bobby. And Hank says, "Looks like we're going to have to drive into town to get new phones." He sees some donuts and stuff, and there's no truck there. And he goes, "Bobby, my truck is gone. What happened?" He goes, "Hey, a talking bear," is what we hear from the tent. He looks into the tent. Well, there's two naked hippies in the tent, Fudgy and Topaz. And he goes, "Oh, my sleeping bag. Your nudity." She goes, "Calm down. You can join us." And then he says, "Yeah, you can hold the Yanni." Now, I don't know what a Yanni is.
Supposed to be Yoni. I think it's supposed to be Yoni. I think it's a typographical error on the
Okay.
bill.
So tell me what a Yoni is.
A Yoni is actually a Sanskrit word. It's used in like the tantric sex stuff for that culture. A Yoni is actually, it means the womb or the source. So it actually would connote a female organ, such as the vagina, the vulva, and or the uterus. So,
well, how lovely. He can hold the Yoni. He puts his head out of the tent and he goes, "Bobby, what is going on here?" He goes, "Dad, I ate hippie gumbo." He goes, "What? No." like it's a disease or something. I ate hippie gumbo. He goes, "I know I was supposed to be self-reliant, but I was hungry. I didn't think I'd ever catch anything. And they said since they shared with me, I had to share our stuff with them. And then they shared our stuff all over the place. I'm sorry." And then Fudgy
got a little rough.
Oh, man. Fudgy comes out of the tent and he is wearing Hank's work shirt because it says Hank on it. And he goes, "Hey, my name's Fudgy." And that is our second commercial break. We'll take that real quick and we'll be
right back.
There you go.
Join the Daily High Club. the premier destination for glass, water pipes, vaporizers, and accessories. Since 2015, we've sold over 1 million quality products and teamed up with legends like Snoop Dogg and Tommy Chong. Ready to elevate your smoking game? Visit dailyhighclub.com for our El Primo subscription box or shop unique pieces today.
Discover the world of luxury sex toys at Luxury Toy X and indulge in the ultimate pleasure experience. For years, we have been dedicated to the belief that sexuality and wellness are essential components of a happy and healthy life. With over 70,000 satisfied customers, we take pride in our ability to provide products that enhance your sexual well-being. Join our community of satisfied customers and unlock a world of pleasure and self-discovery. Visit luxurytoyx.com today.
Apollo Neuro is a new kind of wearable that helps your body recover from stress, that helps you calm down and feel better. You sleep better, and you can get back to being yourself. Learn more at apolloneuro.com.
I'm Hunter, the founder of Hello Cake, and today we're digging into ED meds. The number one thing we hear is that guys are sick of waiting for ED meds to kick in. Traditional ED meds take about an hour to kick in as they have to go through your digestive system, where Hello Cake's ED medication dissolves under your tongue and works in about 15 minutes. That's about 3 times faster than traditional ED medication. Curious about ED meds? Go to hellocake.com.
Does it ever feel like you're a marketing professional just speaking into the void? But with LinkedIn ads, you can know you're reaching the right decision makers, a network of 130 million of them, in fact. You can even target buyers by job title, industry, company, seniority, skills, and did I say job title? See how you can avoid the void and reach the right buyers with LinkedIn ads. Spend $250 on your first campaign and get a free $250 credit for the next one. Get started at linkedin.com/campaign. Terms and conditions apply.
New Year, same extra value meals at McDonald's. So now get 2 snack wraps, plus fries, and a medium soft drink for just $8.
For limited time only. Prices and participation may vary. Prices may be higher in Hawaii, Alaska, and California, and for delivery.
Relax with Hemp Delicious. Organically grown hemp, massively blended with delicious organic herbs, responsibly sourced for their holistic benefits. Each sip offers calming, antioxidant-rich wellness. Brewed just for you. Sip the calm with Hemp Delicious. Find your blend at hempdelicious.com.
Baby girl, were you staring at me? You know that's not convincing, right? Try again. Well, you shouldn't just be staring then. You should taste.
I'd miss your presence, your laughter.
That Juicy Chat ad gets me every time. It is so creepy. It's so creepy.
So on the break again, I was looking at that. It's called mcspotlight.org. I'll go ahead and share that in the chat. But what it is it's the looking at it, it's like the entire case. Like they've got all of the case stuff, but it talks about all the McDonald's advertising, everything. So it's got all of the detailed case information where you could go through and you could read the argument from McDonald's and the defendant's case and the judgment and the verdict and all that kind of stuff. And then you could go through and read each witness's word for word what the witnesses and stuff were saying about it as well.
That's a crazy ass website. Like,
yeah, it's old. It's a really old thing because, like I said, this happened in the 90s. This McLeod Bell thing happened in the 90s.
Yeah.
So it's really crazy that it exists, but it has like a debating room, which is like a global forum for discussion and debate about McDonald's. And that's where I had read that thing from. But if you go and you look and you scroll through, there's people in Australia, there's people in all kinds of different places, England, Australia. I see a lot of UK stuff because it's a UK case. And it's got all kinds of, because I know you're into the fast food thing like me, but this is like diving deep into that fast food lore. But yeah, it's like a whole thing about McDonald's and how they suck. And apparently the last time they updated, it said, "Stop press. We're planning a major overhaul of the debating room. If you have any suggestions for it, please email." I'm going to email them actually. Stop press 3398. So that's the last time anybody was actually able to post was 1998. So that's
I would love to talk to these
fucking
people,
suck.
about different.
Yeah, I'm gonna email them. Yeah, I'm gonna email them because if they respond, whoever runs the site responds, man, I might have to start the McPodcast.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like we do something about fast
I have to
food
start
and all the
food,
screw ups and all the things.
or maybe not even food essentially, but like American corporations, where we talk about different like companies in America, small companies that became big or whatever. Yeah, I think that'd be cool. I don't know that we could use Mick Podcast. I was in a box because I'm pretty sure we'd probably get hit with cease and desists out the ass, but something in that vein for sure.
Yeah, also good question, Artie. Why did Hank bring his work shirt on a camping trip? But
I'll tell you why. It's the same reason that you carry an ID, or if you're a part of the
That's true.
NRA and you're around guys that got guns and you show your NRA card or anything like that. I think Hank just wore it as if I have to be professional to get to get like a leg up somewhere or anything like that, I need to have my work shirt so I look like I'm ready for the job. If you have a propane shirt on, you could walk into anywhere. You could walk into the back of any restaurant you want if you have some type of official clothing on. I used to deliver wine, and all I was delivering wine was basketball shorts and t-shirts. Yeah, there you go, MC Podcast.
You rap the words the entire time.
But I used to deliver wine in just shorts, and I just walked into people's kitchens and nobody questions you. You know what I mean? If you have a piece of paper in your hand and stuff like that, you can go anywhere. So maybe that's why it's his.
I heard a thing the other day. They said if you're carrying a ladder, nobody will stop you. You
nobody will stop if you carry a ladder. Really, clipboard with a piece of paper on it works really well too. Because a lot of the wine places that I would deliver to, I would just have my clipboard in and a piece of paper, and I wouldn't even have wine with me because I'd have to like use the bathroom real fast or something like that before I delivered the wine. So I would just have the clipboard in my hand and I would just walk in, and nobody in the kitchen. Now a manager might like finally say, "Hey," I was like, "Oh, wine guy," they might say something, but like all the workers, if you just walk into a place with a clipboard, especially I used to deliver to some of these Whole Foods and stuff like that. I could just walk into the back area, like from the front of the store, walk in and walk to the back, and nobody would ever question you.
I was in boxes. Same thing holds for a FedEx shirt. You're probably very right. I used to print out my own press passes and wear them and be able to push my way into like anime cons and things like that, because before I had any sort of backup, to go with like with the network and things, I would just go and get footage by just kind of pushing my way in. He announced Hank Hill, assistant manager, stricken propane everywhere, even the circle. Yep, that's true.
Yeah, he does.
All right, so we are back. We are at a sunrise circle with all these hippies, and we hear, "Oh, divine son, we observe your holy wisdom. We observe your holy wisdom." And then Bill looks over one of them and goes, "So the sun is God?" He goes, "Yes." He goes, "Wow." And then, right?
Yeah.
We go over to Bill is deep into this, and it doesn't take much to drag Bill into one of these things. We're at the ranger station now, and the ranger says, the security cameras show that your truck hasn't left the park. We'll monitor the exit at all times and make sure it doesn't. And Hank says, so what's your advice here? He goes, just sit tight. The park covers, and it's mushroom season. Your truck could be anywhere. So they're a little worried that maybe these people high on mushrooms have stolen his truck and done something bad with it. So we go back to the campsite, and Bobby feels bad because he's kind of let all this stuff happen. He goes, "Dad, I'm sorry I ruined the trip. It was all my fault." Hank says, yes, it was. That is cold, number one. But he goes, yes, it was. But you just took responsibility and admitted it. That's the first step towards self-reliance. He goes, what are you doing? He goes, I'm calling your mom to come pick us up. He goes, I guess I'll have to come back later and pack out my truck. He goes, you mean we're just giving up? He goes, the hippies have us surrounded, Bobby. There's nothing we can do. He goes, but Dad, hippies have us
sound like it's a war zone. Yeah.
He goes, oh yeah, Artie, it's a good point. He said you can see Bill dancing on the monitor when they're looking through at the cameras and stuff. He goes, but Dad, if we just give up, the hippies might just keep coming back forever. He goes, they're like locusts.
They're like locusts, but I don't know what the heck we can do about it. I guess we'll just camp somewhere else next year. This is not like Hank giving up on these things. And so Bobby, being the voice of reason, he goes, well, maybe it's like what you said. If you want to catch a fish, you have to think like a fish. We just have to think like hippies. He goes, that is impossible. He goes, come on, Dad, just try. Okay, I'm a hippie. I'm naked because I smoked all my clothes. Smoked all my clothes. I love that.
Yeah.
He goes, yeah. And I don't like to work. He goes, right. And I like everything handed to me. I'm just like a kid. He goes, right. An overgrown kid who can't take care of himself. So now they're kind of mind melding. They've got an idea here as to what they can do to get rid of these hippies. And so we're back at the campsite for the hippies. And there is a M&S septic tank there. And the ranger is there pumping the stuff out of the porta potties. And Hank and Bobby walk up to him, and he goes, yeah, figures this is the one place they're not burning incense. He looks at Bobby and goes, stay in school, son. I mean, it's
Yeah, please stay in school.
It's a great one.
That's a good one.
Hank says, Ranger Bradley, the First Amendment guarantees the hippies the right to be here. But as Bobby was pointing out, does it guarantee them the right to park services? He goes, yeah, the ranger station shouldn't have to deal with this. The ranger says, yeah, you're telling me. Did you know that that hippies are the number one source of airborne and riverborne pollution right in front of Dow Chemical and Mexican trucks? That's such a good quote. Hank says, I'm not sure about that, but these hippies have got to go. What would you say to Bobby and me taking care of them ourselves? He goes, oh, great. How many fire hoses do you need? I've got some pepper spray. I can take down a bear. He goes, Or maybe we could just cut off some of the park services. He goes, well, doesn't sound quite as interesting, but you're on your own. And he just leaves. I mean, he's just like, okay, see you, bye.
That's funny.
We then see Peggy driving because she's still on her power trip here. She sees something happening and some police tape up and some police cars over there. So, of course, she stops. She gets out of her car. She goes right up to the crime scene. She goes under the tape like she's a freaking cop. And she goes,
I know, it's hilarious. That would make me laugh.
She goes, okay, what do we got here? Like she's on freaking Law and Order or something. And then, of course, they drag her off to her car. And she goes, I'm on a roll. We're back to the hippie circle. And the main hippie is saying, I want to give Stokes and warm fuzzies to Bubble Man for creating limitless bartering periods. Okay. Hank says, Bobby, grab the feather for me. And he grabs the feather out of the guy's hand. The guy says, but I wasn't finished with my heart song. So he's now holding the talking feather. And he says, attention, people. Minutes ago, I spoke with the ranger, and due to unforeseen circumstances, all services in the park will be cut off effective immediately. And you hear, what? Oh, no. He goes, this means the porta potties are no longer available. And they go, we have a right to those potties. Yes, we do. Yeah, I have the runs. I have the runs. Okay. Hank says, clean water will no longer be provided to you. And as of this moment, the park's snack bar is closed. And the guy goes, no snacks. What? I mean, they are really put out now. So now you're seeing the fact that.
Yeah, they're not fans of that for sure.
They are not living off the land. They're just living on whatever they can get for free. And so they're a little,
they're
worried
not,
about it.
They're not truly living the outdoor.
These are not free
lifestyle. Well, that's the thing is I watched a lot of documentaries about what they would call like I guess it's I think they call it the Green Triangle or whatever, but it's in Northern California, Southern Oregon, that area where they did a lot of weed growing and stuff like that with the hippie type people. They're all self-sufficient. Not one of them couldn't live in the woods without being able to provide for themselves. They know how to capture rainwater. They know how to harness power, using solar. Well, obviously the technology for solar now is there. So most of them can live completely off the grid just using solar and rainwater kind of thing.
These folks are different. They just want free shit is what it is.
Well, there's also an intentional community of people. A guy started it. It's called Earth Ships is the name of the style of home that he builds, but it's a self-sustaining home, and they're built in the New Mexican the New Mexican desert.
That are built into the thing.
No, they're not domes. So what it is they are built into like a recessed that they'll
mountain
like
or a
mound
hill or
dirt over
whatever.
it. But what they use for the insulation is old tires and recycled stuff like recycled glass and stuff like that. So the houses are also 100% sustainable. They obviously hook them up to solar for power, but the water is collected in a cistern from the rain. They only get average 12 inches of rain a year. So they collect that 12 inches of rain and they make that 12 inches work all year long through this recycling system it has. So the water is fed through this little river that flows through a part of your house that you could also use to grow food, and it's also used to clean your water. So it's got root systems and stuff like that of plants and stuff. So
Yeah.
it naturally filters and cleans your water the way nature intended. And then it goes through another like a UV system or something that they have set up. But it's all like self-sustained home is the whole premise of it, to where all the cooling, the heating, all your water systems, everything is like there. You don't need to be connected to the grid as far as water and electricity. So you're able to be, self-sufficient, but they're called earth ships, and they're apparently the cheapest one. And the guy's life goal was to make these as easy to put up as anything else. That's his life goal, is to make a product in that space that is easy to do.
Yeah.
But most of his houses are complicated, and he's spent his whole life figuring out the system that works, and now he's at the pinnacle of his life, at the peak. Really, I think the guy has like stage 4 cancer on the documentary I was listening. So, so he's like at the end of everything, and he finally has a sustainable thing that he could do, that he could put it out to where it's attainable for the common man. Because most of his houses, I think the cheapest one he makes right now is like 500,000. But you got to think, in that 500,000, you have no bills either. You won't have an electricity bill.
Right.
You won't have a water bill. Like, you don't have to
Right.
worry about that. You don't have, all you have to do is worry about paying your $500,000 loan off, which, if you don't have bills, a 30-year note on a $500,000 is probably not that bad, because you're saving a lot of money not paying
No,
bills.
if you're not having to pay for water and electricity and all that stuff, yeah.
Oh yeah, be a cakewalk.
So they say that he's got the feather, and he's talking to him and saying that there's no snacks, and they freak out about that. He says, hey, is it just me, or am I picking up some negative vibes out there? Which is just funny as hell to see Hank say negative vibes.
Yeah.
He goes, well, here's a positive vibe for you. You don't need the park to provide services for you, because we're going to show you how, with a little hard work, you can take care of yourselves. One of the hippies whispers to the other one, grab the feather. Like, that's going to make a difference.
Yeah, it's going to make a damn difference.
He goes, yeah, this will be great. We'll teach you how to dig your own latrines, maintain your own roads, purify your own water, and catch your own fish. The hippies look a little dumbfounded, and Bobby says, so what do you say? Who's ready to work here? And they all leave. All the hippies just start packing up and leaving.
Yeah, I feel like this is some like young 20-year-olds that have been listening to the stories, because this is about the age where all the guys would be 20s, whose parents were part of that counterculture. My parents were a little too young, I guess, for the counterculture. They were born in the 60s, so they were there for the disco 70s and all that, but they weren't really there for the hippie movement. So I didn't really get exposed to that as a kid. But I know there is some whose parents were born in like the late 40s or early 50s, and they were like hitting like peak, teenage years in their 20s in the 60s, and they tell all those stories to their kids. And that's what these are. Their parents are probably, corporate yuppies that told their stories, and now their kids are trying to go live their stories, kind of thing. I feel like that's what Burning Man is.
They romanticize all of it, like
well,
it's like
the tech world. If you go to any of those major festivals, the only people that can afford to take off of work for that many days in a row and party like they party are people who work from home in tech jobs, like people who are making damn good money. So if you go, it's kind of funny when you go to these big festivals, because it's literally people who are making $250,000 a year, and they're doing every kind of crazy drug known to man, and then they just go back to their life after it's all said and done with. So I think it's kind of funny.
Artie calls them credit card deadheads. That's pretty true. Yeah. Okay, so one of them does turn to Hank and calls him Rumsfeld before he leaves.
Who is
Rumsfeld.
Yeah, he's also the architect of the Iraq War. He tried it once and failed with George H.W. They tried to do the
Yeah.
whole Iraq thing, and it didn't really turn out the way they wanted it. They had a limited success, but the second one is the one that really I feel like George W. Bush, had he had a different cabinet, he might have been a better president on paper, because a
Right.
lot of the guys that were in his cabinet were the old stogies from the 70s and stuff like that were his dad's people,
Yeah,
who kind of got like Dick Cheney and Donald Rumsfeld. Like, those guys should have never been paired up with George W. Bush, but since their dad had all that Republican influence, they kind of were forced on him.
Yeah, we kind of and
Really just
now we've got a
politics.
president that just start World War III to make some money, so that'll be good.
Yeah, tariffs on all of our top allies, just because they don't think Greenland is cool to do that, but whatever.
It's insane.
Oh yeah,
man.
so the Greenland thing,
Yeah.
I don't want to go too deep into politics, but
Please
the whole Greenland thing's kind of funny, because one of the things that the reason why that there's like a push for that is
Yeah.
the people that are in his ear. So what it is there's two of his former I want to say former associates or business partners or people that worked with him or for him or something, whether it be in government or in his business life. I can't remember exactly which one, but they just signed a big deal with the company in Greenland to do mineral extraction. Well, right now, what do we need more of to make more electronics is those rare earth minerals.
Yep.
So Greenland has all these rare earth minerals and stuff.
Yep.
Well, that's what they're trying to do, is to create a Silicon Valley in Greenland, because they don't need a lot of water resources to cool the AI. You're building AI in Texas, you're gonna, like, all these AI things they're building around here, dude, we're not gonna have any water in 30 years.
Yep.
But if you go to Greenland where it's
Probably less than
cold,
that.
you could use the natural cooling of, you could design your building in a way that uses the natural cold from the outside to cool the AI stuff. So
Sure.
that's what they're saying is the big thing about the Greenland push, is because of the technocrat thing. They want to go in and turn it into like a techno state and make it like a Silicon Valley in the Arctic kind of thing, because there's nothing in Greenland. So it's like a perfect place to just build some AI shit. So they just want to go literally suck the resources out of it and then abandon it, kind of thing.
Well, we that's Venezuela also. It's just oil. But anyway, okay, so they all leave. Hank's like, so long now. And then Bill comes over and says, Hank, Bobby, I came to say goodbye and wish you much love. Like he's hanging on to it, right?
He's hanging, yeah.
And Bobby says, where are you going? He goes, Dallas. The Phish is playing a musical concert there. The Phish is playing a musical concert there. We're all going to live in the parking lot. See ya. And so he
Wasn't
takes off.
Hootie and the Blowfish kind of like one of those jam bands?
Maybe a little bit. Yeah.
Maybe.
And Bobby turns to Hank and says, will we ever see Mr. Dotrieve again? Hank says, well, around the 15th, that's when he has to report back to work, or he's AWOL. So
I always
knows.
forget that he's active duty military.
Yeah. And then it shows the Ranger at the outside of his Ranger.
So that really solidifies, honestly, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you,
No,
but
you're
that
fine, you're fine.
solidifies the geographical thing even more.
What do you mean?
If he's an active duty military, there's one of the world's largest military bases in Central Texas. So it makes sense that he could be in this general area, Temple,
Absolutely.
Killeen, Belton.
So the Ranger is outside his cabin and he's waving at the hippies as they go by, and he says, he's saying things like, go to hell, good riddance, hug this, just like, so Hank and Bobby, they walk around, they find his truck in the mud, and it has a bunch of bumper stickers stuck all over it. A couple of them say,
what would Jerry do? P for enjoyment, not for employment.
Not employment.
America, KKK. Yeah.
There's one that just says dreamer. There's one that says it's 425. You're here. And then there's one that's just like a dove, a rainbow, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. And then a talking whale, and then welcome home. Yeah.
Yeah. And then Hank says, okay, you drive it and I'll push it. And Bobby gets in. He goes, on 3, punch the gas. He goes, I'm on it. And he says, 1, 2, 3, hit it. And then they get it out of the mud. He goes, okay, what do you say there, son? Ready to go home? He goes, not yet, Dad. We still got to pick up dinner. And so they go and they sit on the bank and they start fishing. And we get one of those beautiful Arlen sunsets. And that is it.
Yeah.
We get our credits.
That is an episode. Yeah.
That is our episode. Now on the on Hulu, when the episode was over, it said it said the thing about the Mina bird, right? It said, I love Doris Shelwyn. But in the actual one, it's the Hank quote that says, they're hippies, son, after the credits.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So a little bit different.
I like that.
But that's a really good episode. It's a fun episode. It's an episode that shows Bobby and Hank working together and how Hank honestly didn't freak out too bad. You know, you would think he would have freaked out a little better, worse, but really it was the guys who freaked out more than he did.
No, he did. Yeah, he definitely freaked out more.
So, all right. Well, guys, thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate all of you. We love the fact that you keep showing up for us, even when we do these live things. I was in box, Artie. No Joseph this time. I was in a box, Artie, blah, 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 blah. Anybody else who was here, Ghetto Hillbilly, a lot of folks were here, and I really appreciate you being here. If you want more of this, where can they find us?
You can find us at BWAAAKOTH at all social media. And if you're listening to this, you can go over to youtube.com/@BWAAAKOTH and go give us a like, a follow, and subscribe, and go check out some of our content there.
Now that you've said social media, I want to put something up here real quick. This is our first insider shirts. So we're going to put this, he's going to post this for us on Instagram. We've got 3 shirts to choose from here. You look at the Probot, he looks at you, you think, hey, things are going to be okay. That's a quote from Hank. Or you have the one that says, yeah, college wasn't for me. They made that very clear, from Bill. Or the last one, that dang old money's like the wind, man, only feel it when it's moving, man. So that's the Boomhauer quote. Now, if you will vote on one of those, that will be the first shirt that we make available to you guys.
And I'll put a poll up for that soon.
Yeah, that'd be wonderful. You guys go ahead and vote on those. We'll and hopefully maybe by next episode we'll be able to tell you, or next Monday's episode, we'll be able to tell you which one won and which one's available. So
remember, you can go to Instagram for that. That'll be at BWAAAKOTH to help us pick a shirt.
Pick a shirt. I love the fact that these insider quote things, are things that we only know about. I think that'll be fun. But all that is pretty much done now. And I think there's only one thing left to say, which is...
We Matanye.
We Matanye indeed. Thanks for being here, guys.
This has been a Rogue Media Network production.